Okay, this video is going to be about a couple different types of bar clamps that we have in the shop and how to use them and some things that you need to keep in mind when you're using them. So a bar clamp, first of all, I'll tell you what a bar clamp is. You can see this is a bar right here, a bar of metal, and this clamp here has a bar of metal. So these are referred to as bar clamps. The first one I want to talk about is this the blue quick grip clamp, and it works by squeeze this large trigger, the jaws of the clamp close. Now to loosen it, one of the things that a lot of students have trouble with is how do you loosen a clamp? Well, there's this little lever, small lever right here. If you pull that, you can loosen it just like that. You can also, when you're going to clamp something, you can push it in one direction to close it until you get it tight to what you want to clamp, but it won't pull back like this until you pull this little bar here. So you got to make sure you pull this, the small one, to loosen it, and the big one to tighten it down. So it'll kind of work like this. If I wanted to clamp a piece of wood to the table, I would hold pull the little lever to open it up. I could put it down there, and I'm pushing up on the clamp. I know you can't see that, but I just pushed up on the bottom of the clamp, and now I'm going to squeeze that trigger tight, and we can hold a piece of material, wood, whatever you need to hold to the bench, or whatever, however you need to hold something. So clamps are very versatile. You're only limited by your imagination on how you can use them. The other type of bar clamp uses a screw here to apply pressure to what you're clamping. It's very similar, other than that this has probably a little more pressure. It's a little stronger of a clamp than the blue one, but same thing. You can push it up, but you can't pull it back unless there's a little lever here. If you move that, then you can slide it back. And you'd use it the same way as the other one. One thing to keep in mind is make sure that you have enough screw here so that you can tighten it in to put pressure on what you're clamping. A lot of times a mistake that beginners will make is this screw will be all the way bottomed out, and then they'll clamp it up tight to whatever they want to clamp. So for instance, if I want to clamp that, and then you can't turn that anymore. So you got to make sure this is backed out some. And I'm going to tighten it up, and now I can apply pressure with the screw. One of the ways you can use the quick clamp specifically is to hold material to the fence of the miter box saw when you're sawing, and so basically you would tighten it down and then go ahead and squeeze it till it's tight, and that way your work's not going to move. So that's probably the most common way to use this one, but there are probably hundreds if not thousands of different ways to use them, but this is one that I wanted to show you so that if you're using the miter box saw, I did go over that in the video, but I didn't go over actually specifically how to use the clamp. So here's how you would actually use it for the miter box saw. To review, just a few things to remember when you're using the bar clamps. Remember, the little lever will loosen it. Large trigger will squeeze to tighten it on the quick clamp. And on the bar clamp, you loosen it with this lever here, and make sure that you've got enough screw area to be able to tighten up on what you're clamping.